Okay, well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Psychology Academic Session. My name is Mary Kate Traficano, and I'm a marketing specialist for enrollment. John Carroll once again earned the #2 spot among the best regional universities in the Midwest, according to the 2021 US News and World Report Best Colleges Rankings. That's because we strive for more than what's required academically, personally, and socially, and empower you to achieve what others seem as improbable. We recognize that lifelong exploration connects us to endless discovery, wonder, and joy. So you'll graduate unafraid to pursue the unknown. So we are happy that you are considering coming to John Carroll, and now I will turn the presentation over to Dr. Yost.
Hello, welcome to our virtual celebration, and I'm Dr. John Yost. I'm the chair of the psychology department, and with us today are Dr. Anthony Tereskavage, Bethany Jewell. Bethany is a senior at John Carroll, and Hannah Djokovic. Hannah graduated last spring, and she is currently enrolled in our counseling graduate program. What we'll do is we'll begin with about a 10-minute PowerPoint. We want to try to keep that brief so that we can leave time for a question and answer session afterwards. Anything that you see on the slides, if you would like further information, at the end of the PowerPoint presentation are the email addresses for Dr. Tereskavage and I, so feel free to email us. So. Oops. I have to sorry about that. I got to get back to the sorry. Oh, okay. Sharing screen. Okay, is the PowerPoint up?
Yep, you're on the last slide right now.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry about that. I was okay. Okay, so let's begin with just an overview of the psychology major. One important distinction in psychology programs would be the degree that is earned. At John Carroll, the degree is a Bachelor of Science degree. And that's a fairly common in psychology undergraduate programs. However, pay attention, some programs offer a Bachelor of Arts. The distinction is that at John Carroll, the psychology department is housed in the natural sciences and is considered to be a natural science. We are very a research and intensive program. We do have a research requirement, and then we have, as you'll see in a moment, plenty of opportunities for students to pursue their own interest in research, hence the Bachelor of Science degree. Two of the major focuses in our program are research and career development. I put asterisks next to two of our courses because these are required courses: professional development in psychology, that's taught by Dr. Tereskavage, and experimental design and analysis. That's our required research methods class where all students work in groups and design their own research project. Advanced research methods is an optional course as well as independent research, and this is where students work one-on-one with professors to pursue their research interests or common research interests with the professor. We also have many internship opportunities, and we'll present some of those in a moment. Given all the research that we encourage students to do, we also encourage them to and support them as much as possible, sometimes financially, with conference presentations and publications. One thing that's important when considering where you might attend is the advising structure. At John Carroll, most pre-majors will be assigned to a psychology advisor. And if we can get them all, that's perfect. Once students declare major, they will be assigned a psychology faculty member advisor. Starting in the fall, students can actually declare their major upon admittance, so that would guarantee you a psychology advisor. If you are unsure and you end up having an advisor unsure of your major, and so you are just have an undeclared major as you enter the university, and you have an advisor outside of psychology and would like one in psychology, just request it, and that switch can be made. In terms of concentrations, about half of our students are general psych majors, and the other half are in a concentration. So we have in neuroscience, which is an interdisciplinary concentration with psychology, biology, chemistry, child and family studies, forensic, industrial organizational. We've changed the name. It's now business, industrial, and organizational psychology, as well as mental health services, which will, starting in the fall, be clinical and counseling psychology concentration. We also have 3 minors: a general psychology minor, forensic psychology minor, and a minor in the psychology of human diversity. In terms of different opportunities for students, we have streamlined graduate admissions with our counseling program. We also have a 3-2 program with Case Western in their Master's in Social Work, MSW program. We have a 5th-year MBA program with the John Carroll Bowler School of Business. I mentioned the accelerated admissions into the John Carroll Clinical Mental Health Counseling Program. As opposed to reading these, you can see these are some of the different internship opportunities we have in the different concentrations. This is just scratching the surface. CCF stands for Cleveland Clinic Foundation. So basically that's the Cleveland Clinic. Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital, that's affiliated with University Hospital. One of our faculty members, Dr. Tracy Masterson, she is the one who coordinates the Autism Internships. And she has established 20 different sites for Autism Internships. Cleveland is considered to be one of the hotbeds in terms of research and working with people with autism. Faculty promote working with students on research. Actually, we really enjoy it. My advice to you is, if you come to John Carroll, great. If you end up going somewhere and you're in research, be proactive. Talk to faculty members. Our faculty are very much open to doing research with students. As I said before, experimental design and analysis, Psych 301, is a required course in our major. If students want to get involved in research before they take Psych 301, they can do research experience in psychology. And basically, they'd be working in one of our faculty members' labs in a course which is PS 299. After students complete 301, if they are interested in pursuing research further, we have advanced research methods, which is Psych 401. And I teach that class. It usually has 10 to 12 students, and each are conducting their own individual research project. And then once students complete Psych 401, they can seek out individual faculty members and work one-on-one on mutually agreed upon research topics. We also have some funded research internships. We just don't only have two, but these are two that we highlighted. Cleveland Clinic, we have a summer research program down there, and there's also a summer undergraduate research program on campus, which is funded for the students. We encourage students to present at conferences. Celebration of Scholarship is a conference on campus. Our neuroscience students present every year at the Eastern Colleges Science Conference. Our students also present at the Ohio Undergraduate Psychology Research Conference, and the Midwestern Psychological Association annual meeting is something that we've been going to for over the last 30 years. And we do have a fund where students who attend and present at that conference are fully funded. This is an example of a research project. Meg Whitman, who graduated, she is now in the PhD program in clinical psychology at Kent State University. She worked with Dr. Tara Scavage and some other people. Meg earned first authorship, which is extremely rare for an undergraduate. This is a highly selective journal in the area of psychological assessment. Anthony, you want to take over?
Sure. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Just one point to follow up on the research experience for students. Meg published a paper. She's not the only student who's published a paper in recent years. We've had, 6 students publish research just in the past 3 years alone in scientific journals. And to put that into perspective, most psychologists who have a PhD don't have a publication in scientific journals. So they're doing the work of a psychologist at an undergraduate level. And it really speaks to how much we care about student research and how much time we dedicate to it. Because we don't have a graduate program in psychology like other universities, we're fully focused on the undergraduates and getting them the best opportunities. Now, moving into some outcomes though, wanted to give you some data on how well our majors do. Every year, our majors take the major field test in psychology. This is similar to the SAT. It's published by the same company that runs the SAT, but it's assesses knowledge in psychology. And when John Carroll majors are compared to majors overall in the United States, you can see they score extremely well. The average student at John Carroll when they graduate is scoring at the 75th percentile nationally in terms of what they've learned in psychology. Now, next, I have some outcome data here on graduate training. You see here that about half of students go into the workforce after obtaining their major, and half go on to earn a graduate degree. And you see the breakdowns there. Now, the about 46% of people who don't go on to get graduate training, mostly that's because of a lack of interest, not a lack of opportunity. Essentially, any student who comes from our program, as you can tell by the data about how much they've learned, is capable of earning admission into a master's program if they wanted to. Next, in terms of the programs where students go into with master's degrees, you can see the most common areas are clinical mental health counseling. Many of those students go into John Carroll's clinical mental health counseling program, which has really good metrics, and partly because we have this streamlined admission program where any student who gets a 3.3 GPA or higher overall gets automatically admitted into that program. And we also see commonly students admitted into school counseling, Masters of Business Administration, social work, and more we're seeing a much bigger uptick in applied behavioral analysis master's program admissions, which is critical to treatment for autism, which is a major area of emphasis for us with our internships and our training. Next, I just wanted to talk briefly about the professional development psychology course. This was mentioned earlier by Dr. Yost. It's a required course. All students take it. They learn all about careers in psychology, how to get into graduate programs, how to do things like write a cover letter, make a resume. They all have mock interviews. And we go over other considerations like financial federal loan repayment programs, how to get loans forgiven, really get into the nuts and bolts of that. And there are a lot of great opportunities to get both undergraduate and graduate loans forgiven, and we go through that in that course. Next, just wanted to highlight my YouTube channel as part of the professional development and psychology course. One of the things that I've done is create a YouTube channel. It's called Dr. T's Corner. If you want to get a taste of what a class is like in our department, you can actually go to Dr. T's Corner on YouTube and watch some of the lectures from PS 190. And I would even say, quite frankly, even if you don't attend John Carroll, I'm still happy to support your career, and you could feel free to look at those videos. Although do like and comment and subscribe. And then just finally, I wanted to end with some data here. This is national data, and published by the American Psychological Association. They surveyed all the psychology departments across the United States, and they found that only 1/3 of programs had a course like we have with professional development, psychology. Another data point that's not on the screen is only 1 out of 8 programs track the outcomes of the graduates, the outcome similar to what we've just done. So, we're really on the cutting edge with professional development, career outcomes, and really trying to make the most, helping students make the most of their education after they graduate.
Okay, so if you have any questions, we'll now open it up for the question and answer session. I'll leave this up for a second. Dr. Taraskevich, and my emails are up there. If you want to write them down, we'll be glad to answer any of your questions. Something I can provide, for example, we have the different concentrations. We also have course checklists for those different concentrations. So if you want to see what the courses are in any of our concentrations, I can send them to you.
And one more plug, if you Google John Carroll Psychology, our department website has a lot of information about it, about internships, concentrations as well. That could be really helpful.
Thank you, Anthony. So are there any questions? And you can direct questions to Bethany, who is a current student, and Hannah is a recent graduate.
So it looks like Melissa is raising your hand. You can feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, good morning. My daughter is in another session, so I'm going to ask a question on her behalf. So she is interested in becoming a child psychiatrist. And so she is just not sure what she should be looking at for a major, whether she should be going as a major into psychology, or should she be doing biology or a pre-med, or just some guidance of where she should be going if that is her goal and her outcome for her career.
Anthony, go ahead.
I was going to say, you said it was psychiatry, I believe is what you'd said. For psychiatry, yeah.
Right, child psychiatry.
Gotcha. So that requires going to medical school. Now, the neuroscience concentration we have at John Carroll would be perfect for that, for going into psychiatry. And what students tell us is that, what we find is that students who are in that neuroscience concentration, which is that interdisciplinary concentration that includes biology, chemistry, and psychology, they have an advantage on these medical school admissions processes, because it's something different that other schools don't provide, and it's something that can set them apart from just someone who has, for example, a biology major. And increasingly medical schools, of course, are more and more competitive, and having that something different, something additional that other students don't have, like the neuroscience concentration, goes a long way.
Yes, I was going to suggest neuroscience also. We do send students to medical school, and a large majority of those students do complete the neuroscience program. Part of getting into medical school is taking the MCAT, and the MCAT involves taking many courses in biology, You have to get through at least organic chemistry 2. And there are questions on the MCAT through physics. So by the requirements of the neuroscience program are consistent with the classes that you would need to do well on the MCAT. And so by completing the neuroscience program, the students have the classes that they're going to be tested on in the MCAT. The other thing I'd like to add is, students, just because you're in the neuroscience concentration doesn't mean that a student couldn't take everything we offer in that's related to child development and courses in the child and family studies concentration.
That relates very well to Sarah's question, how common is it for psychology majors to go on to medical school?
It's not our most, in general, when at John Carroll, students who are interested in going to medical school most likely are going to major in biology. But that doesn't mean, as Dr. T was explaining, we've had students who major in neuroscience go to medical school. The other thing about medical school, I've known students who majored in English and have gone to medical school. I have a student in one of my classes right now who is majoring in Spanish, but she's also completing all the courses that are necessary for medical school. So, there is not, most students gravitate towards biology for medical school, but you can major in anything as long as you complete the coursework that is required for admission into medical school and the coursework that you'll be tested on for the MCAT, you can major in anything. But to answer your question, yes, it's not our most common pathway for students because most of our psych majors go into not medicine, but into counseling or one of the sub areas of psychology.
And with the neuroscience concentration, that could be added on to a psychology major, a biology major, or a chemistry major. So that you could have some flexibility if you're major and still have the neuroscience concentration added on top of it.
Okay, the next question is, since psych is considered a science at JCU, would you recommend any science classes to take, high school or college, that would help me in being a psych major?
If you could, well, many students take Psych 101 already, and some students do it through AP. So AP Psych, we do accept, you need a 4 on the AP Psych to be accepted. Other courses that you could take in high school, if your high school offers human biology, I think that would be very helpful. One of our core areas of psychology is the biological basis of behavior. So human biology would help with that.
If
Can I add one other thing? Statistics. I know that more and more high schools are teaching statistics. You can even do AP statistics. We require 2 statistics courses in the major, and they're prerequisites for our research, experimental design and analysis class. But the more statistical background you can get before coming to college, the better. And I noticed Bethany and Hannah, you guys kind of shook your head when I said statistics. Do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, sorry, Bethany.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, I in high school wasn't a huge math person, so don't let the idea of taking statistic courses scare you. The professors are super approachable and they help a lot. I know when I got to Dr. T's experimental design class, he was super helpful and refreshing, like basic stuff you need for experiments and everything. So it's a challenge, but it's very doable.
Yeah. And I was going to say that, like, obviously stats would be a big help if you have that option, but like I went to a very small high school. So like I never took stats or psych or anything like that before coming. So like taking those classes can help you out, but it's also not a prerequisite and you can totally manage without any psych experience coming into the major.
Bethany, are you a statistics minor?
I'm a data science major as well, which encompasses the stats minor.
Okay.
Next question is, if I'm interested in criminology and forensics, would studying forensic psychology be a good idea or should I take another route?
Yeah, so forensic psychology would be a good background for that. We also at Carroll have a sociology and criminology department. And what we tend to see is that there's a lot of cross-pollination between our two departments where, you know, some majors there might have a minor in forensic psychology in our department, or we have forensic psychology majors who might also have a minor in sociology and criminology, and also it's possible to double major in both of those areas.
What type of careers can someone look forward to if they decide to pursue child and family studies?
Anthony, do you have data on that?
Well, you know, child and family studies, that concentration is, a lot of students are interested in working with children with autism, and many of the internships that people go to are the autism internships. So, you know, one good career option would be getting a graduate degree in applied behavioral analysis, and then that would enable you to do ABA treatment with kids with autism. That's a really growing area.
Okay. If I'm interested in psych and business, do I have to major in psych and minor in business, or are there specific classes that will help me with that?
So our business, industrial, and organizational psychology concentration is very heavy in terms of the business classes that are required as part of that. So particularly for students who are interested in going into something like human resources, that's a really good option. Also, oftentimes people who are in that concentration also get a minor in business, and the concentration has a lot of overlap with the minor. So it is very doable to do both of those things.
But not necessary.
But not necessary.
Okay.
If I double major in forensic psychology and criminology, would it be too much? Would it be better to major in one and minor in the other?
In terms of being able to fit in all the credit hours in 4 years, that would be fine. That's common. It's very doable.
And one of the things are, as majors go at John Carroll, we require, the minimum we require is for the general major is 39. Some of the other concentrations add some courses on. 39 credits out of 120 is not that much. So it gives students a lot of flexibility to pursue a second major. As Bethany is doing, she's doing a data psychology major and a data science major. It's not uncommon for our students to have, you know, 2 minors in addition to their psychology major. There is a question about college credit plus courses. Do we accept? We do accept college if it's at a accredited university. You know, we will accept it. If it's a course we teach, you'll get credit for that. If it's a course we don't teach, we do try to give people credit. So we might turn it into a general elective within the psychology department. That would count towards the major.
Does anyone have any other questions right now? Okay, I think we are right at noon. So thank you all for coming to this session. I encourage you to reach out if you have any further questions about anything. And I hope that you will, you know, attend all the other sessions today. And we hope to see you on campus soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.